Today, all in one video, in just over 3 minutes, we're going to show you guys how to do an entire floor out of laminate, this pergo that we are showing you. We're going to show you step by step everything, how to do it, what tools are involved. Let's get to work. So this pergo that we're laying has underlayment already attached. It's 12 millimeters all in all. Now you have to lay out and do your markings. So we're going to have 3 different size pieces. We're going to have a full piece. We're going to have 2/3 of a piece and 1/3 of a piece. And it's going to be a repeating pattern. So first things first, let's cut all of our pieces. This is what you need to start. So we're going to have a full, 2/3, and 1/3, as you can see here. So it's 48 inches for the full, then 32, and then 16. Now this little starter tab, you have to cut it off where you're starting to get it against the wall. We're also going to use 1 millimeter, 2 millimeter spacers off the wall, which I will show you as well. So you cut one with the chop saw, then you cut it with the table saw to get that rip nice and perfect. And now we're going to get to work. You start on one wall, run it all the way down. You put your spacers in both corners as you go, and you can see we started full, then 2/3, then 1/3. So we start with 48, 32, and then 16. We use our tapping block constantly to tap it in and secure it. Here you can see our first 3 rows that are going in. Now this is what I'm talking about with tapping it in. They have to be tight. That's when they are fully locked. You'll hear it and you'll feel it fully click into place. Those are the spacers I was talking about. There's 2 different types of tapping block. There's a tapping block that you hit the side of. Then there's a bar to get in up against tight spaces. I will be showing you how to use that one as well. We use our marker to mark all of our cuts, and we use our square to make sure they're square. We take them over the chop saw, and voila, here's our cuts. Now you got to make sure you're finishing your rows as you're doing it, otherwise you can't just pick up where you'd like to go because they have to tie into each other. There is the bar I was telling you about. It fits in tight spaces against the wall, and you hit back on it to pull that into the piece behind it. Again, notice our spacers against the wall because we're tapping against it, but you need room for expansion and contraction. This floor is going to move. There will eventually be trim holding it down as well. As you can see, we are still using our spacers everywhere. You can see the pattern is still flowing evenly and perfectly. Now, here's when the cuts get a bit tricky. We have to use our skill saw for this, or our jigsaw has to go around. Now, since we're doing multiple rooms in this house, it has to carry through into the hallway, into all other rooms, as you can see here. Now, I know a lot of you are wondering, why are they covering up that hardwood floor? Number 1, the homeowner wanted it. Number 2, for some unknown reason, which I've never seen before, they failed their CO inspection because there was holes in this wood floor. So they didn't like the color anyway, so they chose the route to do a new floor. Now this floor can also be taken up at any time and they could go back to that one. So it's not a permanent floor, it's a floating floor. Now it's time to notch around our doorway. We use our contour gauge for this. We mark it out and then we'll be cutting this out with our jigsaw as well. So tools needed are a jigsaw, a chop saw, a table saw, then you're gonna need a tapping block, a pull bar, a hammer, a square, a marker, and a tape measure. That's all you're going to need to do this, guys. It is very easy. Anyone can do it. You just got to be willing to take the time to do it, and I highly recommend knee pads. Now, here is our finished look. This entire room is completed, runs all the way through into the closet, and our trim is on everywhere. Everything is caulked in. Thanks.